I'll talk about my grandfather, Nyago Gong. He was a very well celebrated singer of the Kan people. Tukang tabna, tukang parap, tukang basically a master of something. Tabna meaning the song, and parap is spontaneous poetic song. Back then, when you go to the field, you carry your child in your baby carrier and entertain them, sing while you do your work. And that's when he started to learn to listen. As it went on, he became known for his voice, for his gregarious character. People would just kidnap him from all along house and then bring him to all the way from Tubao to Panam, a few hundred miles. Always would get kidnapped. He has a special connection with Balawan, the spirit warrior. He would be the one to be go-to, and even requests him to just entertain us. It's really a big part of his life. It's like 90% of his life now. If he stops singing about Balawan, he will fall sick. That's how much his connection was with this practice, this oral tradition. His connection with Balawan. He could not stop singing. Sometimes he sings to himself. There was my grandfather who brought up the legacy in our family as singers, which I took on. And that's Nyago Gong.
So in the Cook Islands, there were two warrior chiefs. Now one of them, they don't know whether he actually comes from Tahiti, but they know that he lived there. So his name was Tangi'ia. He's a warrior chief. He's traveling on the water, Moana Nui o Kiva, in his canoe. As he's traveling, he meets another warrior called Karika. And Karika is from the island of Manua in the Samoa group. And somehow stories or legends say that for those two, they see each other on the ocean and their first instinct, get ready for war. But as they got to know each other, they realized they have something in common. So instead they become friends. They start traveling to look for new land. They end up sighting Rorotonga. Now Rorotonga back then was known by several different names. Tumute Waro was one of them. Raro Te Tonga was one of them. They set up their system of living. They're the two main leaders. But as time went by, they decide, okay, it's becoming a little hard to maintain control. They are going to figure out who owns what and who's in charge of what. So somebody from Rorotonga suggests a more peaceful way rather than fighting each other. That peaceful way was to have a canoe race. They'll start at one spot, one will go the other way and the other one will go the other. And wherever they meet, they will draw the line in the middle. So they both kind of did their rounds. So, you know, racing around the island. They kind of meet almost halfway in the middle and the race ends there. So the island now is split almost at the middle. Tangi'ia then gains control of one half of the island and Karika gains control of the other island. So there is still a district called Takitumu and a village called Ngati Tangi'ia. That's how they kind of distinguished the two islands and split them into those sections. That's kind of a story of both ancestors that I connect to in one way or another. Yeah.
A story about one of my tupuna, one of my ancestors, to the one who I descended from, Ngā Toroirangi. I would call him a wizard or a sorcerer. He could perform magic. He used to communicate with nature in such a way that it would respond. He would speak to a tree and it would speak back, call to the wind and it would come. Despite being an older man, he ascended a mountain barefoot, and this mountain had never been ascended before. He just trusted his ability to connect with nature. He arrived at a particular peak of Tongariro. The blizzard started swirling. Ngā Toroirangi kept going up and he persevered. He wanted to reach the highest peak of Tongariro, and when the blizzard got worse, he called out to his sisters in Hawaii. He said, e kui e hau e, kāriro au I te tonga, tukuna mai te ahi, which means my sister Kui, my sister Hau, I have been hit by a southern cold wind. Send me some fire, he says. Now his sisters went, got you, and sent him 2 baskets of fire. This fire arrived at Ngā Toroirangi. He harnessed that fire to warm himself and he put that fire into Tongariro. And then he survived. He lived to tell the tale.